Hello, everybody. All right, so after the notes from yesterday, we talked about segment lengths in a circle, which is different than the angles and arc length and all that stuff. Now we're talking about segment lengths in a circle. And there's three possibilities, okay? So one of the possibilities is if you had two chords, one of the possibilities is if you had two secants, and one of the possibilities was if you had a secant and a tangent. Okay, and I came up with those like crazy acronyms to help you kind of memorize what you're supposed to do. All right, so hopefully you have taken the notes and you have them written down, and now you can use them for these practice problems. Okay, so one thing I would like you to do is when you look at these problems, go ahead and pause the video, draw out the picture, and try to work it out, and then hit play and see if what you are doing matches what I do. All right. All right, so hope everybody is doing well. Let's get after it. All right, so in this first picture, okay, I've got a circle, I've got these two segments. Looks like I got a 7-11 and a 9 and an X. All right, so the first thing I got to think of is, well, what do I have here? What are these two segments, right? What are these two segments? So hopefully you see that this is a secant and this one, I like to make it a little bit bigger. This one is a secant as well. So this is an example of when we have two secants. And of course, the rule that I made for when you have two secants is we equals we. Okay, we equals we. So remember the W stands for the whole secant. The E stands for the exterior part of that secant. All right, so starting with this red one, uh, this whole thing, the whole thing would be 7 plus 11. The exterior part is the 7. All right, now with the green one, this whole thing, okay, this part right here is 9, this part is x, so the whole thing would be 9 plus x, and the exterior part is 9. All right, so now it's algebra, okay? Let's see, 7 plus 11, that gives me 18 times 7. 18 times 7, look at that, 18 times 7, boom, 126. So we have 126 is equal to, and remember when you have something like this, you must make sure you distribute. So 81 plus, and then the 9 times x is 9x. All right. Continuing to solve this, I need to subtract 81. Subtract 81. 126 minus 81. Minus 81 gives me 45. So 45 is equal to 9x. And then obviously if I divide by 9, I will get x is equal to 5. All right. So that is two secants, and the rule for two secants is we equals we. All right. What's that? Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah, let's try another one. All right, so looking at the picture, of course, we've got two segments here. What do we have? We have this one, this long one right here. That's one of them. And we have this one. All right, so hopefully you see that that is a secant and one tangent. And the rule for when you have one secant and one tangent, go ahead, pause it right now if you want to try to finish this one out by yourself. But the rule for one secant and one tangent, that was the let, where we equals t squared. We equals t squared. All right, starting for the first one, the secant, this whole thing, right? The whole thing, if this part right here is x, this part is 9, so that the whole thing will be 9 plus x times the exterior part, that's the part that's the outside, times 9. is going to be equal to the tangent, which that's 15 is the tangent one, 15 squared. Okay, I just need to make sure I distribute this 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times x is 9x. And I know 15 squared. 15 squared is, I believe it's 225, but let's see, 15 squared is 225. Okay, subtract 81 from both sides. I get 9x is equal to 144. And then, of course, divide by 9. Divide by 9. I believe that's going to be 16. And boom, x equals 16. Okay. All right, so we've done two secants. We've done a tangent and a secant. And then, of course, the third one is 2 chords. And remember, if it's 2 chords, the rule for 2 chords is PP equals PP. All right. So remember, this is 1 chord. That is one of the chords. And this is the other chord. And remember, the parts have to come from the same chord. The parts have to come from the same chord. So starting with this purplish chord, the 2 parts are 12 and 10. If I multiply those together, that is going to equal the 2 parts of the gray chord, right? The 2 parts, and that is x times 15. All right. So I know 12 times 10 is 120. And that is going to equal x times 15, which is just 15x. And of course, if I do 120 divided by 15, I get 8. So 8 is equal to x. All right, there are your 3 practice problems for segment lengths in circles. Tomorrow I will throw out a worksheet for you, approximately 6 problems on them. So, all right, hope everybody is doing well. I miss you. Bye-bye.